like to welcome you to the TNN platform. This is the New Nigerian. We organize podcasts. Our aim is to showcase good works in diaspora, good works in Nigeria. We're trying to organize what we call the reverse brain drain, where we get our best brains in diaspora, get them to align with our best brains in Nigeria to see how we can affect the polity. So having said that, I would like you to please introduce yourself to the platform. Please let us know a bit about your background. We will appreciate starting from the beginning as a child, growing up, where you grew up, and what your influences were. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. My name is Nuhu Fulani Kwajafa. I was born on the 31st of January 1971. So I clocked 50 this year. Wow. So I grew up in a police family. My dad was in the police force. My dad was one of those colonial police officers who he entered the police at the rank of first class private, and he rose to commissioner of police. So he went through all the ranks. Those policemen wearing short knicker and guarding Oyinbo people were back in those days, the colonial police. So he went through all the channels of the police force. He got the police commissioner. Then he retired in 1989 because the law said when you clock 35 years of service, then you have to leave the service. Then when he left, I was in school. I was in King's College. I grew up in Lagos. I went to Iriti Primary School, Jakonde School. Then from there, we went to Benue. I was in the Air Force Primary School, Secondary School, and came back to Lagos again because my dad was just moving up and down because the police officer transferring up and down. We were moving up and down. Then 1989, my dad retired from the police. Then I went to the UK to school. I went to the American College in London, ACL, but then they've changed it to American Intercontinental University. So I did banking and finance there. So when 1989, my dad retired from the police, I was still in the UK. Then 1990, my dad became chairman at NDLEA. Then I was still in the UK. Then I was coming to Nigeria for holidays up and down. But one good thing about it, because we're about three in my family that left out of the country. Two of my brothers, and they're still in the US. Since they left 1991, they haven't been back to Nigeria. But I was like, I love my culture. I love Nigeria. Nigeria is my blood. So every holiday, even Easter, I must come to Nigeria 3 times a year. So I was coming back until when I came back to Nigeria finally. That when Abuja was president there, when I came back, my dad I've already left the NDLEA. So my dad was doing some kind of security consultancy because all my dad's life, all he knows is about security work. Because from the police, my dad spent 35 years in the police and 29 years in the CID. Because he was even the one that started SARS, 1984.
Oh, wow.
So my dad, even during the SARS riot, they gave an interview, Google it. He gave an interview because my dad, then we were in Benue in 1984. When Buhari came into power, my dad was deputy commissioner of police. Then Lagos was ravaged by armed robbers. Then that's how they brought my dad to Lagos as police commissioner in charge of SARS, Special Anti-Robbery Squad. Adeniji Adele, that's where their office was at then. So my dad knew nothing about business. Only thing he knew about was security. So my dad was just moving around, advertising security equipment. Then I was working with my dad. But I said I was not going to work with the government when I came back to Nigeria. I started working with my dad, or being my dad, like director of operations, going up and down, doing the supplies, security equipment to state governor, to state police. And that's what we're doing. Then one day, I looked at my dad, you know what? I'm just tired of all these things, man. I just want to be, I don't want to do my stuff. My dad said, okay, no problem, do your stuff. Then my late sister, I have a sister that died in 2002. She died in a car accident. Then she had some kind of transaction with FCMB, First City Monument Bank. She was with Balogu.
Yeah.
Then we were doing foreign exchange transaction. You bring buyers, they buy dollar from us, then you make your commission. But the commission was outrageous. When you can sell $1 million and you make 20 naira commission, that's 20 million naira. Wow. That was in 1991. Then, my brother, I was being paid like a Premiership player. Every Friday, I was getting alert. Then there was not even alert. Abuja would just call me and say, Nuhu, come and collect your commission. And then there was nothing I was not doing. There was nothing I was not doing. That was sometime today when I sit down and I see people, oh, private jet, oh, Rolex, all this, I laugh because everything I've done before is the upgrade that is going on now. Nothing is new again. Then everything, I was getting paid every Friday, making money, traveling up and down. I was watching my phone number on dollar bills, doing everything. Then one day, everything came to a standstill. The federal government said, oh, the whole transaction was illegal. It froze everybody's accounts. Nobody have a dime again. Shibomi Balogun FCMB was sanctioned for 2-3 years not to participate in any foreign exchange transaction with the federal government. So many embargoes. So I became 0/0. No more Nuhu private jet, no more Nuhu first class to London, no more Nuhu going to watch movie in Paris and come back the next day. Then one day, my sister died in a car accident. Wow. That my sister that was involved with the FCMB. Then during her burial, I said to myself, so is this it? With all the fame, with all the money, everything, boom, so this is it. After pouring that sand, your whole chapter is over. Then I left Nigeria, I went to the UK for a year. When I was in the UK for a year, on my way back to Nigeria, that was my turning point. That was my turning point. Because the good thing about it, I never had issues about giving. Even when I was a kid, when we were growing up those days, you go and steal something from your dad's room. I would steal it and come and solve somebody's problem. So giving wasn't a problem. But on my way back to Nigeria, the taxi that took me to the airport said to me when we got to the airport that I shouldn't pay the fare. It's free of charge, FOC. I said, why? He said, because that day happens to be the last day he's going to be a cab driver. And his house is about a 5-minute drive away from the airport. So he planned that anybody he picks up to that destination is free of charge. Yeah. I said, wow. I said, so, but you look pretty young. What are you going to do? He said he wants to go work for Red Cross in Iraq. And in my mind, I said, even asked him, I said, so are you going to make more money in Red Cross than being a cab driver in the UK? And he said to me that life has gone beyond money. Yep. Life is the life you give back to other life, the hope you give back to others. That what makes you alive. That what makes you a human being. Yep. So I said to myself, okay, good. Me too. On my way back to Nigeria, I was thinking about what he said to me. I said, okay, you know what? When I get to 50, I will dedicate my life for charity too. But something struck me. I said, but hey, I just buried my sister. So it means nobody have been promised tomorrow. You can die today. So while waiting till you get to 50, why don't you just try and take an action now? So when I came back to Nigeria, I had to just start thinking out of the box. Because I know how Nigerians, how we behave, how people are always assuming. I said, people will say, this guy from Groove Man, now he's doing charity work. What's the motive? Is he trying to extort people? I thought, okay, no, you know what? We will defeat people's skepticism. Then I thought, okay, let's try and launch a campaign. If you can go to church every Sunday, or you can go to mosque every Friday, then once a month, touch a life. It's not a big deal. Can you support a needy, even if it's a pack of noodles? It goes a long way. Even if it's an egg or a milk, it goes a long way. So what we did, we created a forum called Food for 1 Million, a food drive, every last Saturday of the month. Everybody donates, no cash donation, only food items and materials. Right. So people were comfortable with that. Yeah. So every last Saturday at the conference center in Abuja, from 10 in the morning till 4, 5 in the evening, you have people driving, dropping bags of rice, carton of Indomie, bags of sugar, maize, old clothes, toys. Then we'll gather it from 10 in the morning till 4, 5 in the evening. then all the orphanages will be there present to receive, we will distribute everything according to that, how we've been doing it in the last 14, 15 years.
Wow.
Then we'll move to the educational aspect of it. We'll say, listen, there are so many children that can't go to school. And they're very intelligent. There are so many children that they are roaming around the streets. They're very intelligent. Those kids are the most endangered species we have today, because today the reason why we have the insurgency in Nigeria is because of the neglect of the number of children. We think, look, we're going to try and create an educational platform to support these kids. So we'll identify the children, then we'll get donors. We'll say, okay, good. We'll say, hey, this child, her name is Yemisi. She goes to this school. This is the phone number of the parents. This is the address of the school. So you interact with them. We are just a vessel. We will bring you to them and you deal with them and we'll pull out, because it's too crazy to start being in the middle between the donor and the recipient. Let the donor and the recipient get to meet. At the end of the year, every term, this child will send the result, the report cards to the donor. We will have a child today that the donor took out of the government school to a private school with his children, because the child happens to be a good child. Then the last one is the most difficult aspect of our campaign. It's called Save a Life. Save a Life is a campaign where we raise funds for children that their parents cannot pay medical bills. And in the last 15 years, we'll be able to raise over $5 million for children all over Nigeria, including South Sudan. We have cases every day. As I speak to you now, I have about 18 children in various hospitals in Nigeria. In Abuja here, I have a child going for surgery on Wednesday. I have a child going for surgery at the end of the month. And the painful part of it is no cash, no health care. They have no medical insurance. We have categories of children. We have children that need to fly out of the country because they need to go for heart surgery. That one runs into maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 million naira. Then you have the other ones that all they're looking for is 150K, 200K, 80K, 300K. Today, as I'm telling you, there's a child in the hospital that they refuse to discharge the child because of 135,000 naira. The child was there for 2 weeks.
Right.
And what breaks our heart again is those that have the money don't usually really like to support. They usually have like their misplaced priorities. Where they prefer to spend the money is different from where it's been needed. And you see, there are two things we need to be very careful again. That you have what you call the crooked parents. We have what you call the crooked parents. Parents that capitalizes on the child's condition to continue extorting money from people.
Yeah.
And they will not want the child to get good health care, because if you stop it, that is the end of the goose laying the golden egg. Yep. So sometimes, the other time, a donor paid 3 million naira to account of a lady that her child had a tumor, and the woman ran away with the money and the child died.
Right, Oganu, we'll come back to the work, but I want to take you back down memory lane.
Yeah.
You talked about Jakonde schools.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant initiative by the then Lagos State Governor, Jakonde. Now, considering your pedigree, considering your upbringing, how did that impact on you realizing how privileged you were as to those other children who attended such schools? Do you think part of that rubbed off on you to give you the outlook in life that you have now? Did you make good friends there? Are you still in touch with them? Is there any particular incident in a Jakonde school that you might like to share with us, even if it's a humorous one? You know, so if you want to go back in time to give us a bit of humor, you know, we'll come back to work.
Yeah.
The reason one of the key reasons for that is because you see once you go back in history, it helps with our alignment in diaspora to see how these systems actually help with shaping and building character. So like David said, it could be a humorous thing, it could be something exceptionally funny, or something really brilliant that aligns with what you are doing today.
Yes.
And then when we were in that Japanese school, to me, and then everybody was a leveler there. Nobody cares who your father is.
It was exactly.
Because you know what? My cook, his son too goes to the same school.
Okay.
So every day when we come back, he will tell me, you can go to your big house, me, I'll go to the big queue, but tomorrow we'll meet in school.
Okay, yes.
So we will laugh and everything. I know it was a leveler. And then we were living in the Koi, and the school was on McQueen off Bodilon. We used to trek to come back home. My dad would drop us before going to work, but we trek. And when we're trekking, we're about maybe a bunch of friends, 10, 11, 15. We'll trek, everybody go to their parents' houses. Nobody who's waiting for driver to my big. Who's driver?
Yes.
Who's driver? And the funny part of it, then the next week we were sharing a fence with Corona.
Okay, Corona was a posh school in Lagos.
Yes, and the fence we were sharing, it was not like fence of block. No, was barbed wire. So we see ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah. So my cousins, who then, because when we're there, then their dad was in politics and they were in Corona. So they would come and see ourselves across the
fence.
Defense, but I can guarantee you today, and I know 60 or 70% of those that went to that Ireti primary school who are doing better off than those people that went to Corona.
Absolutely.
Again, you see, and then, if not today, people look at public school the way it is because everything has changed, because 80% of the teachers in public school now, they are running their own private school, so they don't put so much love, passion as a teacher. Like my university in the UK, in the class, we're about 25. One day they gave an exam. Oh boy, 20 out of 25, 15 people failed, 10 passed. The lecturer said never. He will retake the exam because they will sack him. 15 people should fail.
Yep.
It means you're not doing your work. But in Nigeria, if 15 should fail, oh my God, Christmas came early.
That's true.
So what was the contrast between secondary school in Nigeria? Suddenly you're in the UK, completely different environment. You're in university. What was the contrast? How did you view that part of your life as well? And then tell us a bit about your influences in the UK, friendships, how you lived. If you can contrast the two together.
Okay, you see, like I said to you, after you reached primary school, I went to King's College. After I left King's College, that I went to the UK for my uni. But you see, the public school then built me up. It built my self-esteem. It built my orientation, and it gave me confidence. And another thing again that really helped me from them till today is because then we looked at ourselves as one. We are one people. We don't care where your background is. We play football. We walk on the street. We do everything. We are one. Remember, I told you that we were. My dad was traveling up and down as a police officer. So everywhere we were all in public schools. So it really brought because then we used to look at those in private schools and say, those people are not really hard now. They don't really know what time it is. It's we that we know we will trek to school. We can go for an errand to go and buy something. We're smart. We will not collect anything from any stranger. Anybody talking to you, you don't even look at him, you walk away. Yes, you might tend to be a little bit rude, or not really rude, or maybe your approach, because of, hey, you have mixed around with everybody. But you know, when I went to King's College, everything was more okay. Right now, it's still a federal school, but it was still more on the poshy level. But still, at then, it was still a leveler, because we have people coming from Enugu, from Owerri, from every part of Nigeria, and during the midterms, they can't go back to their various states. So they have to look for friends they can stay with. And then, we used to live in the corridor. There are so many Igbo guys, Yoruba guys, that they can't go back to their state. And then, my parents didn't care. Then the issue of tribe or religion wasn't really an issue. Do you know that today, some friendship that most of our parents have originated from our friendship from King's College, because we were close to some people, or that how, you understand? Then I left for the UK. When I left for the UK, then as a young guy, I was a party guy, groovy guy, everything. But I was always ahead. In the sense that I did my primary school not in a posh school. I did in a government school. I did my own federal school again, not in a posh school. So now I'm in the real world now, that you meet everybody from different aspects of life, and the same mentality that I had when coming up from my government school, that everybody is a leveler, they don't care who your father is. This is where I find myself now. So it was not really a difficult thing for me to adjust. While I have some other friends of mine who maybe they came from the elites, they are in school and they'll be surprised to see certain individuals in the same school with them. Because some parents will cut their necks, sell everything they have to send their children to school overseas. And you, the big man child, you say, what's this boy doing here? I thought his dad is not as rich as my dad. But you don't know the sacrifice his own dad will make to give him that education. Because, so that is how I started my world. But you see, I have this always at the back of my mind, is always be fair in everything you do. Always be fair in everything you do. That's the reason why from that I tell people, listen, you know what? I'm a jolly good fella. I wake up every day with a smile on my face. I have no sad moment. I can be upset for 5-10 minutes, it's over. I can't keep anything overnight, because I believe that my life is above anything.
Yeah.
I should be the one to control stuff, not stuff to control me. Well, when I hear people in a bad situation that depends on the community, say, yeah, you know what? I always don't judge people, because I don't know what they feel. I don't know how their position is. So everything we just have to pray to God to give us a strong will, strong power to overcome any issue. Because my brother, you know what? Every day as a man or as a human being, you wake up, there must be problems.
You're right. You're right. I mean, one of the most exciting things that you mentioned there is, you know, that empathy, that engagement with empathy that you said it was based on that taxi driver when he said he was going to work for Red Cross and it's not really about money. There's a lot of interviews that we've had and conversations on this platform that is aligned with that kind of, what's that word now? Revolution, where people change their course of their life based on maybe a single decision or an encounter. That individual now that has obviously brought out something new in you to start doing these things for people. He's over where he is and he has no idea. I don't know if you're in contact with him, but he has no idea what.
I know at all. You know, I didn't even take him serious. I just said, okay, no problem. Have a nice day.
Yeah, and this is the kind of thing that this is why we're doing this kind of programs, you know. So a message from you in that regard, so people can know that, listen, you might hear one or two things passive, but when you align with your inner self, these are the kind of things that you should be doing. And I think this is the kind of work you're doing now. And I know you're touching lots of lives, but if you can tell us a little bit about the challenges you face within the economy, you know, within that particular Nigerian system, because we want to try and alleviate it, you know, by amplifying these messages. So if you can share those challenges, it could be individual challenges or even collective challenges or challenges you face systematically from the, not necessarily from the government, but from establishments, you know, that is not slowing your progress, but, you know, making it even more exciting. It could be more exciting for you, those challenges. If you can share that with us, please.
You know, as an organization, there must always be challenges. There will always be challenges. Even UNICEF, they have challenges. Everybody have challenges. But see, the challenges we have here is the people. We don't have that giving culture.
That's true.
That love, let me show empathy to my fellow brother. A couple of years ago, I was watching on CNN where a veterinary home, a hospital where they keep animals, dogs, cats, whatever, qualified to be there, got burnt. Within 24 hours, in the US, they raised $900,000.
Yep.
Just for those animals. In Nigeria, those animals will be sleeping on the streets. So that is a way. Then you talk about a human being, a soul. Do you know that in the year 2013, we had a baby that was born without a skull?
Wow.
The first baby ever born in this world, no skull.
Okay.
They were living in Ibadan. I don't want to give you an example. They were living in Ibadan, and the landlady evicted them and called the baby Ogbanje. So I flew the baby and the parents to Abuja here. I said, we must look for help for this child. My colleague was telling me, Nuhu, don't put yourself in big problem, or you're bringing. I said, don't worry, God will bring a solution for this child. We wrote to all the hospitals, and they replied us back that the baby's condition has no precedence.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
It has never ever happened, so they can't do nothing. Then, Dr. Ben Carson from Johns Hopkins, the neurosurgeon, wrote to us. He said, listen, I'm about retiring to get into politics, but I will conduct the surgery for this girl. But we should understand that the surgery too is a surgery that have never ever been done before.
Sorry, is this Ben Carson that was in the previous United States administration?
Yeah, you know, he's a neurosurgeon, yeah.
Yes, okay.
So he gave us a bill of $234,000. Ow. I said, wow. I said, no problem. We'll try and see how we can raise the money. And I look at it, you know what? You know, usually how we raise money, we use crowdfunding. We use power of volume. You want to raise $1 million naira, you look for 100 people to give you 10,000 naira, or you look for 1,000 people to give you 1,000 naira, or 10 people to give you. So using the power, but when we saw the issue of this child, her name is Okiki Jesu, we said, listen, you know what? We can't go for crowdfunding, so let's meet the government. Meeting the government was an issue.
I can imagine.
Everybody wants a piece of the cake.
Yeah.
How much are you going to give us from the money if they donate the money? So we put that one at bay. I said, okay, let me go to my church. I went to my church, I met my bishop, I spoke to him, I said, listen, Oga, I don't want a dime from the coffers of your church. Don't give me 1 naira. Just identify yourself with the parents and the child. Speak on their behalf. Somebody, 1 or 2 or 3 people will pay this medical bill just if we talk on their behalf.
Yeah.
And they told me that they're sorry, they can't help me because the child does not attend the church and the parents. I said, okay, no problem now. Some people were even telling me that, Nuhu, don't you think this money is too much for one child? That why don't you just allow the child to die? By the end of the day, we're able to raise the money within 72 hours. And if I tell you where we raise the money, you'll not believe it. I raised the money in the nightclub.
Excellent.
We believe you. We believe you, sir.
No, I mean, when you're
Life
dealing
goal.
with people with like anybody that has a mission, and from what I'm listening
Yeah.
to, you have a serious purpose, and
Yeah.
you know, everything you've said is objective. So no surprise of where that can come. So yeah.
Sometimes people will tell you, "Oh, so amount of money is too much for this child. Allow the child to die." I've never heard a kind of thing from human beings. Only my people here.
See.
No empathy.
Nothing. You see, the problem is, our problem is we think the other way around. We believe money is bigger than life.
Yes.
But life is bigger than money, because it's only when you are alive you can enjoy the money.
Exactly.
I know people today on wheelchairs, and they have billions. That life is important. If you ask him, choose one, to die or to be on the wheelchair, they let him be on the wheelchair.
Yeah. Nice.
So my problem is, you see, the convincing Nigeria is one of the biggest tax ever in this world, because everybody always tries to see how you can find a hole.
Yeah.
There are sometimes when we say, okay, good. Because sometimes when we have issues, we think, okay, you know what? Why don't you pay direct to the hospital?
Yeah.
Don't give us the money. Pay direct to the hospital. But you see, pay direct to the hospital is always fantastic when you are dealing with a private hospital. Private hospital will give you a bill of 5 million naira, and you pay direct to the hospital 5 million naira. They will conduct the surgery, do everything. But if a government hospital should give you a bill of 3 million naira, first of all, if you ask them, okay, a donor wants to pay to your account, right? They will tell you, we don't give account numbers. You either come to the hospital and use your POS, or you bring cash and pay. That's number one. Number two, if you pay that 3 million to the hospital, the day for the surgery, they will tell you they don't have item 1 to 15. You should have to go and buy it outside. But you know what? The money you gave them, the money for item 1 to 15 happens to be in that account.
It's that money, yeah.
So the money cannot come out again.
I mean, we know these things, you know, honestly.
Sometimes when we meet donors, they listen, don't be afraid to give us the money, because every day we buy stuff, buy this, buy gloves, buy cotton wood. But do you know we even buy oxygen cylinders?
Yeah. It's a good thing for us to understand these things, Mr. Nuhu. Can I ask the condition of that child?
Yes, please.
The one in the US.
Did Ben Carson do the surgery?
So after we took the child to the US, they reconstructed a new skull for the child. But the only problem they had was there was so much fluid in the brain, so the brain wasn't growing normally. So she has some kind of like learning disorder now. But they even give them a green card. They live in the US now.
Oh, God be praised.
Honestly, it's something that it will be worth following up with, maybe at some point, you know, on your behalf.
And there's a boy that I even want you guys to Google. Maybe David, you will tell them the name later, then they'll Google it. There's a boy, his name is Ali, right?
Yes.
The night those girls were kidnapped in Chibok, Ali was about 2 years old. So Ali came out running. When Ali came out running, Ali fell down, and one of the Boko Haram guys rode over Ali's back with a motorcycle.
Oh no.
And Ali was left for dead. Ali was under the tree for about 2 days before the mother took him back to the village. And Ali, since 2014 to 2017, Ali was lying down on his stomach. I'd never ever seen a doctor. all they've been doing for Ali was giving him local herbs, trying to call all these local bone people that will break and correct the bone. So in 2017, someone informed us of Ali. So we flew to Chibok.
Right.
And we brought Ali to Abuja. And I kept Ali in my house, with his auntie. Then we took Ali to all the hospitals.
Right.
And they told us categorically that Ali will never, ever, ever walk again. I said, okay, no problem. Just give me Ali's medical reports. Then they gave me all Ali's medical report, and I sent it to about 2, 3, 4 hospitals in the UK, in Dubai, and the US.
Yeah.
But Dubai came out very cheap. Dubai gave up a bill of $48,000. So we took Ali to Dubai, and the moment we arrived at the airport, the ambulance picked Ali up at the airport. That one, even before we left at Abuja, because they gave us a bill of $48,000. While we started looking for the money, we took Ali to the Senate. He met Saraki, he met so many people. Yeah, they all tried. So he gave his own donation, and so many people, everybody came on board. So we took Ali to Dubai. Ali was whisked straight to the hospital because they said they need to operate on him, otherwise his spine will snap. So Ali went through about 7 to 8 hours surgery, and Ali was brought out of the theater, and the doctor said Ali will walk after 7 to 8 weeks. But Ali started walking after 7 days.
Oh my God, this is amazing, man.
We would want, like
Solomon
said, we would definitely need a follow-up.
No, I mean, to be honest,
these are great walks.
Yeah, I mean,
so
we say about empathy. If you don't have empathy, you can't even.
I will tell you, stick to it. So when we took, after Ali started working in Dubai, the wife of the emir of a town called Sharjah started sending flowers to Ali at the hospital. The Dubai TV stations were all at Ali's bedside at the hospital. Ali became a star. If you Google his name today, Ali Amadou Chibok, he was all over. So when we came back to Nigeria, Abuja airport was like a bazaar of media men. Everybody, Ali. So what we did, I adopted Ali. Ali lives with me in Abuja here. I put Ali into school. I think Ali will not go back to Chibok anymore. Every year we take Ali back to Dubai for more checkup to see. That's how we do it.
Brilliant stuff. Wow. I mean, it's time. It's 1 hour already. So I mean, last 10-15 minutes, can we just engage and do a recap on all these exciting things?
Sure, yeah.
Maybe plan a follow-up, because to be honest, you see, what we try and do is take these kind of instances and stories and amplify them around echo chambers here, you know, in the UK. That's what we're kind of known for. We just pry into
if I have your numbers, I'm gonna send you our profile, number one, and another profile of we have a profile, we call it the before and after.
Please, I mean that would be excellent. I mean,
it's always good. What we always try to do is we always try and bring out the picture of the before and after, before and after. So it gives people more confidence.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, definitely our numbers are. It's Alive is a public book now, so you know David would obviously try and organize that if we can exchange those details, because we do believe that a follow-up is needed for this enhancement and to create more awareness about the good works you're doing. Because in a funny way, it's not a unique situation with yourself. There are a few other people who are doing exceptionally brilliant stuff, but they just don't get the traction, they don't get the recognition, they don't get the support, they don't get the voice. We've met a few, we've talked to a few, and the key thing that they're lacking is the collaboration. And this is part of why we're really keen on what you do, because there are other organizations, they might be smaller, but they all want to mingle, to interact, to collaborate, to help people.
Go on. You were going to say?
You know one thing about this, that a lot of people like that have NGOs trying to see how they can impact life and the rest. A lot of people always get like, they always deviate.
That's true.
Deviate in the sense that, hey, the moment money start coming in, issue. You deviate now. Everybody, you want to drive a Jeep. You want to do that. But you see, I sold my only car to save a life of a child. That's my passion.
Yeah.
I sold my only car. And you know the secret about people don't understand where the blessing always comes from. The blessing is not monetary blessing. No, it's away from that. Let me tell you, even when I was asked a couple of years ago in the UK at the BBC that so what is my gain? Because they know a lot of Nigerians, NGO, everybody wants to collect money and the rest. So I think that they should understand that I have never applied for support from foreign donors or grants. No. The money is in Nigeria, and we will raise the money in Nigeria.
Amen.
Yep.
We don't need to write that about number two. On the 10th of March 2010, myself and my team were abducted by Fulani herdsmen in Jos.
Okay. Wow.
We took some relief materials for a village that about 300 women and children were killed in one night. What really saved us that day that I'm still alive today is my shirt, because one of the Fulani heads boys was wearing my NGO shirt, touching life every day.
Oh.
Apparently, this Fulani boy benefited from my NGO's outreach 7 months before that day.
Oh my God. Can you imagine that?
So
this is testimony.
Was my saving grace.
Can you
on the 3rd of June 2012, I was at the Abuja airport. I was taking a boy to Lagos. The boy had a hole in the heart going to India for surgery. I bought my ticket, but the boy and the mother got to the airport late. So by the time I wanted to buy the same ticket for them, which I bought for myself, the airline said they've already shut down the counter. So I have to get them a new ticket. I said, no, I can't get them a different ticket while I go on a different flight. So I changed the flight to Aero Contractor, and the flight that we missed, that was the Dana that everybody died.
Oh my days.
Then on the 26th of August 2011, I was at the UN office in Abuja to collect donation for widows and orphans, and I missed the Boko Haram attack by 5 minutes.
These are the blessings. These are the rewards.
These are the blessings for me.
Yeah. Yes. So these are tangible things you can actually put your hand to and say, this is my blessing from what I do.
Yeah, those are attributes. Those are direct attributes of good works. You see, I mean, you can't even go too far away from that, honestly, because you look at how empathy gives result. Anybody who is in that field, David, we've spoken to many people here who are actually doing the same thing you're doing, Mr. Nuhu, and they all have similar stories, you know. And I don't know why this is not pushed across in Nigeria to show that the more we love, the more we show love, the more we start changing our mindset to understand.
I was even going to let Mr. Kwajafa know. You see, we recently did a podcast with a doctor in Lagos. He owns a hospital, and he specializes in fibroid operations.
Okay.
One of his wishes is to come up north to do surgeries, free surgeries for people who have fibroids.
Yeah.
So this might be the start of a collaboration.
Yeah,
and
fantastic.
That is part of what we have seen as our own success stories, getting these individuals who are doing amazing things and others who are doing amazing things and say, okay, let's all do something magical, you know. That's the key thing, and that's what's been keeping us.
You know, this thing you said in 2010, when Nigeria was celebrating Nigeria at 50.
Yes.
So we had a collabo with some doctors from the US, about 4 professors and about 6 other regular doctors. Nigeria, we have a big problem, bro. These guys, they bought their tickets. They bought everything. They came to Nigeria. All they asked us for, said, listen, give us accommodation and give us a hospital. And they want to do free surgery for women with breast cancer and fibroids.
You see?
There you go.
So we went to radio stations, we went to churches to make announcements. My brother, our phones were buzzing because there are so many women living in denial. They have it, but they can't come out to do it.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know that they came with so much medical equipment that they planned that the hospital they use, they will dash them, donate it to them.
That was their plan.
Our hospital were asking that how much are we going to pay them to use their test?
I wrote that. Oh well.
We had to go and look for the Abuja local government chairman, and he gave us a hospital in his village. And the Oyinbo will see God before black man. The Oyinbo people, they said they even prefer to live in that village area because they know more of the beneficiaries will come from that area. That the place will give them with AC. They don't want that area. They were here for 10 days.
Just helping out.
It's so pathetic. Imagine somebody bringing food for your children for free of charge. He's asking you should give him plates for you to put for your children. You say no, you should pay for the plates.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you know, like we said, you said that before. If you remember, we think about money first before life.
Yes.
You know, we put money first in our dealings before life. So you are going to lack empathy in your engagement once you do that. But if you reverse it and put it around, if you think about life before money, you're going to have life in abundance, you know, and then the money will start coming in abundance too, because you prioritize life, you know. So I cannot go on.
Sorry. Mr. Kwajafa, please, if you would just like to send a message to the audience in diaspora listening to you now, in a few sentences, can you tell them exactly how they can collaborate, how they can help? I know we're all proud people, but these audiences also need to listen and understand the works you are doing. So in a few sentences, if you can just tell the audience about collaborating and stuff you would require from the audience itself, especially to help with the global initiative.
Yeah, my good people, you see, when it comes to collaboration, it's not all about money. It's about expertise. What can people bring on board? I mean, we could have doctors, we could have people working in companies who are into medical equipment. We have people who can support with wheelchairs, people can support with crutches, people can support even dialysis machine, because sometimes we have difficulties. We have to start going to look for dialysis machine outside the hospital. You are paying for a child almost about $100 to $200 per one session. So there are so many things you can bring on board to support. Everybody can bring expertise. Those that want to donate, I mean, you can donate your $50 a month or $100 a month. $100 by 1,000 people goes a long way. We could save lives. The little you bring, I mean, because I keep saying, listen, let's become the people's people. Yeah. We are the government of the people, because without us, because how many are they those in government? They are not up to 10,000, but we are more than them. They have nothing we cannot do today. Do you know, I even said to a friend of mine, I was even trying to see how I could bring in one of the Nigerian celebrities to see, just to use them as influencers. But listen, if we could get a million Nigerians today that can give 1,000 naira, that's 1 billion naira every month. We can be as big as UNICEF. We will take care of our own. We have thousands of IDPs all over Nigeria. They are all down of malaria on the road. We can tackle it everywhere. But you know, Nigeria, like I keep saying, everything is about money, money, money. But I believe that we, the few good ones, if we come together, we bring other people on board. Friends of friends, bring your friend. Let your friend to bring his own friend. Collectively, we can do a lot. We can touch lives. So I appeal to my brothers and sisters in diaspora. I'm in Nigeria, you guys, wherever you are, but as long as the global world still exists, we will always get to see ourselves and talk to ourselves. Let's become our brother's keeper. Let's reach out. Thousands of children are dying back here at home. Thousands of children. You will never see it on TV. You will never see it anywhere. But if you can go through my Instagram page, which David will share at GIPLC, yes, and my website, yeah. I will send it to David and I'll share it. Just go through it and see what we'll do. Some of the pictures are very gory though, but it's still the reality of life. And I wish this little group that we have will evolve to reach out to thousands of children in need. Thank you so much, David, for this platform.
Awesome. Oh,
and
this
Solomon.
Is fantastic. Like Solomon said, we will definitely do a follow-up.
Yes.
I mean, when we get all the... Go on, Solomon.
No, I was going to say, from my point of view, I'm already thinking about the doctors we have on board that we've spoken to. They need to be aware of these programs, especially the ones in diaspora, because we have a pool of doctors looking for projects or, you know, incentives or how they can help or give back. And I think yours is one that foots a lot of bills that have come through our plate, even as of recent. So we'll definitely, you know, get those details. We'll shout as much as we can. And the key thing is to get the collaboration on any level going.
Fantastic, yeah.
Once that's churning in, who knows where that can lead to, you know, in terms of empathy. So well done. I can only say thank you very much for what you're doing for us. You know, we're not here, but I know back home is a different ball game. But the little,
yeah, I know, yeah,
the little we hear from good people like you is what gives us hope. You know, that we still have that place that we can always try and see if we can make better from our own point of view.
Yeah,
you know?
fantastic. Yeah.
I am just going to stop recording, and then we can chat privately before we let each other go. So, in that vein, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure there'll be a follow-up in part 2 with more success stories to tell the world. The value of this meeting cannot be quantified. No. It is not by mistake that this forum or this quorum was gathered. It is what is meant to be, and I strongly believe that something very valuable, something very strong will come out of this conversation. Thank you so much.